Hello and welcome to the All-in-One Theme. In this video we're going to talk about content for your website through RSS feeds. And if you come to your All-in-One Theme admin side, over here on the side, and you click on Content, and then you click on RSS Campaigns, you'll see that if this is the first time you've ever been in here, you'll see that you have not created any campaigns yet. So before you can really do anything, the first thing you have to do is create a new campaign. So let's go over here and add a campaign. You can't, and whenever you add an RSS feed, you have to add it to a campaign. So the first thing you have to do is create a new campaign. So I'm going to go through here real fast, fill this out, and then I'll come back and I'll walk you through each step in the process. So hold on one second. Okay, so I filled out the forms, and let me show you exactly what we did here. So first thing, we had to give the campaign a name, obviously. So we called it Test Campaign. And I had to select a category. Now these are the categories that exist on the site. We just pick one, so I can just say How To, and that is the category. Any post that this creates, it will post it to that particular category. Now we can also say post time. Is there a certain hours that we want it to run every 50 hours, or is there a certain day of the week that we want it to run? We want it to run on Sunday from, let's say, 9 o'clock in the morning, or 9:30, let's say. Or do we want it running every day at those times? Okay. Now, who do we want the post to be created by? And this will list anybody that has an account created on your site. We can say admin in this instance. Now, how do we want to do the post title? What do we want it to title? Whenever this campaign runs and it processes the RSS feeds, and make sure you go over the video on how this whole system works so that you understand. So whenever it goes over and it processes the RSS feeds and it grabs one and sticks it in this title here, what do we want it to do? Well, that's what we want it to do. We want it to randomly grab a title and stick it in as the title of the post. Randomly grab one of the topics that it grabbed from one of the various RSS feeds. So maybe RSS feed from a particular frequently asked questions, a Q&A site. Maybe one of the questions was, what's the best way to rent property? Well, if that's one of the topics, it could grab that topic, and that would be the title that it would place here. So you can make this random. You can also add to it. You can always say today, right? You can do whatever you'd like. So you can control it, and then it'll add to it afterwards. You can see here's some different ones that we've done before, right? Randomly grab a title, stick affiliate marketing at the end. This is for a local one. Randomly grab a title, Frisco, Texas news, and then we put the date at the end of it so that people see that it's relevant to today. So you see here are the different ones you can use. You can include the time if you're doing it every hour. Okay. Now there's a couple different ways to do it here. When it runs and it creates when this campaign runs, processes all your RSS feeds, and it creates a post, do we want it to go automatically live on your site or to a draft status first? Well, let's just go ahead and publish it. Why not? What about images? Do we want it if it finds in the RSS feed an image, do we want it to keep the image? Yes or no? Okay. Any images that it keeps, how do we want to set them up in your blog post? We always use left, just this number 2 one to the left. And then what about the post that it creates? What are some of the keywords? Well, I just put an example in here: how-to guide, common questions, whatever. These are going to be questions, or these are going to be keywords that are very specific to this campaign. So you could have keywords that are different on different campaigns. So this one's going to be very specific in that regards. Now here, this is where it really separates what you're pulling, and it really helps you post to your site very particular and very specific data. So it says include, exclude keywords. If you're going to include it, you just type it in. If you're going to exclude it, you would just put a negative or a subtraction sign and then the keyword. Now here's where you would use something like this. If you're going to add a bunch of feeds from a bunch of different sites, and you want to just say, regardless of the site that it comes from, I want to make sure that it always has want a keyword. So if you had two of these, if you said include 2, include 3, what this would mean is that it would have to have at least one of these keywords, right? Now, if you put a negative keyword like this, then even if it has one of these keywords, if it finds a negative keyword, it discards that particular item. So let's say you're pulling something from CNN.com. CNN.com is going to have a whole host of different types of data that it's pulling in. But maybe you only want data from CNN if it has the keyword business cards in it, as an example. Well, so what you would do is you would just put in here business cards. So now it would just keep checking the CNN feed, but it would only keep anything from CNN if it had the keyword business cards in it. Now, this is what we're doing this at a campaign level. So you would only do include and exclude keywords if you want it to apply on every single RSS feed that you're using with this campaign. Okay, so if you're going to put to this campaign RSS feeds from 5 different sites, then whatever you include here, whatever you list here, is going to be a filter that you're applying to all 5 sites. If you only want it for the CNN and the feed that you're pulling from business card websites, you don't want this feed necessarily, then that means you wouldn't do it at this campaign level. You would do it at the RSS feed level, and I'll show you that in a second. So I want to make sure you understand this is a global setting that you're doing at the campaign level. Every feed that you put underneath it would apply to it. Everybody understand? Okay. Same thing with include, exclude domains. So you can say, yes, keep this feed coming in, but if you find a domain, then for news.com, discard it. Or if you find a feed that comes through and is from that site, discard it. Or make sure that you keep it if it has this particular domain in it. So these aren't very commonly used, just so you know. They're more. It's just an additional filter option. So I just listed this here, but like I said, not very commonly used. Send an email. So when it creates the post for you, when the campaign runs and it builds you a post, you can check this box and it'll send you an email that a post was just created, and it was either set to draft status for you to go edit it, or it was automatically posted on your site. Now here's what gets really exciting. This is where you see it says post header text, and you see, let me zoom out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 boxes that you can enter in a random header. And what will happen is when this campaign runs, it will randomly grab one of these 5 headers, and it will put this at the top of your post. So it's sucking in feeds from all around the web, content from all around the web, building you a post, and then you can put your own personal touch as a header. So it'll randomly grab one of the headers. Same thing from the footer. So you can put a little closing paragraph in here. Now I would recommend about a paragraph on the top, and you can put something simple at the bottom if you'd like. Thanks for checking this out, whatever you'd like. Intermix these, it's a good way. And there's 5 of these as well, and it will randomly grab one of the closing footers. And then you just click on Create Campaign, and at any point in time you can come back to these campaigns and edit it. This campaign was created successfully. So let's look at our campaigns now. Here is our campaign. Now see, it's got this little color to it. That tells you that it's currently paused. It's not an active campaign. So I'll show you way over here, status paused, right? You can activate it, edit it, copy it. So if you want to copy it, make a few little tweaks, maybe keywords or something like that for another set of feeds, or edit it. So if you decide as this goes on that you want to change it, once again we've made this very simple. All you do is click on edit it. But before anything happens, before anything runs, you have to click activate. Nothing can happen with a campaign. Just by saving it, nothing happens until you actually activate it. But the key thing is that this campaign has to have RSS feeds to generate content. No RSS feeds, it cannot generate content. So we do that by this RSS feeds tab here, or right here, RSS feeds. Now that's another video, so make sure you go and look at the video on adding and editing your RSS feeds so you know exactly where you get them and how you actually go about adding them to your WordPress site, and specifically to the all-in-one theme. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll look for you in our other videos. Thanks.